Welcome to another Six Hockey post-draft show. Thomas West alongside Liam Crothers. Today we are going to be talking about the Sarnia Sting, and this was a team that drafted a lot of strong GTHL talent, which is what we'll be highlighting in today's show. Angus Macdonell is the first guy that they drafted. They took him very high up in the first round, and this is a guy who played with a bit of an edge this year. He had the ability to put the puck in the back of the net. And this was one of the strongest players on a Toronto Marlies team that was also very strong. Would you have taken him where he was taken in the draft?
I would have. I mean, he's a bit of an irritant, like a Brad Marchand. He can produce points at an exceptional level, but he can also get under the skin of his opponents. I'm pretty sure he'll get used to seeing the inside of the penalty box for the Sarnia Sting. There's no doubt about that. But when he's on the ice, he's very, very effective. I like this pick here.
Yeah, he certainly is. We move into the next pick now, and this is Ben Lalkin. He was a guy for the Mississauga Reps. He was a leader on that team. He was a leader on that team in terms of scoring points, as he had 49 of them last year. He's not the biggest guy, but Liam, this is a guy with a ton of speed, a ton of skill, and we got to see a couple of his games, and you can watch all those on YouTube, and he was a very strong skater. That was kind of the thing that stood out to us.
For sure. And I mean, you look at the point totals, they speak for themselves almost. In such limited time on the ice, he was able to produce at the rate that he was doing it. It's very, very impressive. And, it's not always about the size going into the OHL. These players do tend to grow into their bodies, and I expect that Ben Lalkin will do the same, but he'll keep up the point production.
Later on in the draft, it was Ethan Tierman getting drafted. Now, this is another guy who's not the tallest guy, but he's a guy who's quick. They took him in the 4th round, and he's got some skill.
71st overall, I think, is fair. 15 points in 23 regular season games at North York. I think Ethan Tierman is a little bit underrated in this class, and I'm excited to see what he can do at the next level.
Yeah, a guy who actually might have been a steal at the draft. Another guy who might have been a steal is Will Bray, and we really liked his play style. Obviously, he had an injury that kept him out for a bit of the season last year, but he was a strong defender for the Mississauga Reps. He's a guy who got into the offense a little bit, but a shutdown defender as well.
9 points in 15 games. I mean, that's comparable to Cameron Allen, the 3rd overall pick that we saw in the OHL draft. I mean, he's got a ton of offensive potential as a defenseman. That's always impressive. But defensively, Will Bray is strong as well. I really like that pick there.
Yeah, guys who didn't play a lot in the season, sometimes it's a risk, but from what we saw of him, he was very good. Our next pick is Antonino Rizzo, a guy who split starts between the pipes with Josh Branton on the Toronto Junior Canadiens, who were the best team in the GTHL. This could be some late round value.
292nd overall, I think, is a little bit farther than we thought that Rizzo would go, but he's got a lot of talent. I expect to see him between the pipes for Sarnia before long.
Well, that does it for us on the GTHL post-draft show from the Six Hockey. Thomas West alongside Liam Crothers. We'll see you next time.